Okay, hello Gavra. I hope you can hear me. Okay, great. Just secure the cables. Get everything ready. Hey, so hello everyone and welcome to Gavra Racing for this social race. We're now going to go light out in around Silverstone. Now it's going to be lights out and away we go for the British Grand Prix in the social race for the Team Cup. And now Night Slash getting a very good start and leads into turn one ahead of now Georgie is fighting against the car of Night Slash. Night Slash, very good start, fighting back against his red team, and someone has spun in the background. There's Martin spin in the background of the back. Very unfortunate for him. Really gonna annoy him there, but Night Slash leading on from the front, but a lot of position changes around the top 10 as you see Pulek progressing up the orders, now going around the outside of Billy Misu, who's losing positions at the moment, so not a good stop for Billy Misu at the moment, but he's going to try and maybe get some positions back as the steps get ahead of John Wick going into Cop. So very good start from him, and he is ahead into Cop. So nice move there from the black team drivers. Now Gilster gets a 3-second time penalty. Leo's not had a good start, and that's Skatcha at Cop spinning out, so not the best news for him. But of course it's a very hectic start. Now Billy Misu, Lewis possibly losing another position, and now Martin is all over the back of Billy Misu, now onto the hanger straight, and now as you can see wheel to wheel, and now Martin tries to go around the outside into Stowe but fails to do so, and now he's got Gilston on his right rear, and he's going to try and send some move into the Vale chicane, but Martin defends with absolute pride, and now into lap 2 we go now. Night Slash leading from Joe J, who's going to try and put some pressure on the red team, as the red team have a 1-2-3 at the moment, as Shari has a little bit of a mistake with the curbs, of course, but Shari really using our battery as Leo Gondex retired from the session already, and that is very unfortunate. And Wave Micro is serving a penalty. I believe he's going to change his front wing, and VD10 Ultra at the back, as well as John Wick at the back for some reason. We're just gonna turn my phone down because I can hear myself speaking in through the phone. And as Martin once again in 2 laps, he has spun twice, and that is not the best start for him. P15 at the moment, from P5 to P15, not the best for him. But we're currently going to look at the top 4 as there's a lot of action. As Billy Miso trying to fight against English Dave through Magnus and Beckett, and he makes the move done, and he makes the move stick and moves up into P9. Very good racing between the both of them, and Billy Miso takes P9 at the moment. Into the points position he goes, and he tries to secure some points for the yellow team. It's going to be difficult from there on for the yellow team driver to try and get up on the grid, but his next target is Fetz, who's all over the back of John Wick, who I don't know why he's at the back of the grid, but I guess it's just that. But currently we have got, it's a bug, I believe, that, but John Wick is realistically P6 currently, so very unfortunate. As you can see, John Wick now goes down to P7 here, so a little confused by silence off. Yeah, it's because strategy. Maybe for a very aggressive 2-stop, or maybe a softer hard, maybe just try and get those positions at the start. Shari really trying to battle against Jolje, who is currently P2 and P1, so Reza also at the back behind this red train, with also the steps just around 2 seconds behind, but we've got Mr. Teddy all over the back of him with no battery to attack against him. But Reza currently P4 now. Let's see what we can do, maybe could he maybe go for a move? He sees the red light flashing in the back of the red car just in front of him, and he's going to possibly look at the slipstream he's getting, and is he going to maybe go for a move? No, he's not. He's a bit too far, but maybe he could sense a move into the Vale chicane, but he doesn't really go for it. So he's going to wait maybe some laps until he will make that overtake when the softs especially start degrading in performance. So a very good start. But yeah, John Wick is 6th. I don't know why. It's a bug, and you just got ghosted out automatically. But he is P6. No, P. Where is John Wick right now? I need to have a look. He's currently behind. I think that's Fett. No, that is Billy Meese. So he's currently P9, and then Pulex P10. So. I mean, I feel like to stop in a 50% race is way better slower, no matter how you fast you. Yeah, exactly. It's probably because they're gonna try and gamble for a safety car and maybe try and go for a nice one stop and maybe possibly threaten the medium runners, but only with pretty much the whole grid, except for one person, John Wick, on the hard compound tires. So a bit of a variety of strategy in Silverstone here. But today, I'm going to quickly just tell you what's happening today as we've instantly went into this Grand Prix. But it's a social race for the Team Cup. If you haven't watched yesterday for the full qualifying, it was very, very nice to see Night Slash pole position and the grid shaken up for now in the Grand Prix. But Reza really close behind Shari here as now Billy Misu carries on moving up the grid and moves up into P7 ahead of Fett, and Billy Misu is going to try and advance up into P6. His next contestant is going to be Mr. The Steps, who's going to try and defend against the caliber of the yellow team driver. As you can see, he sets a faster slap, which just shows how good his pace is at the moment. By the way, are you kidding me? No! 102. I thought it was like 3 or 4 races. Okay, great. Hopefully only 102 overall, but I'll try. Yeah. But I hope you don't, because of course I want to have very good racing with you, of course, because I know you're gonna really be on my gearbox in that season. But anyway, still Jog J behind Night Slash here, not really going on between both of them, but Jog J recharging his battery here, interestingly, and Night Slash draining a little bit of that battery, which he has to watch out if he wants to keep this lead. But currently English Dave getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But as you can see, Jog J is closing down a little bit, but Jog J's straight line speed isn't the best, and Night Slash has very good straight line speed in the back of that package in his car, so it might be a difference in aerodynamics, and as you can see, that is kind of seen. As you can see, he's losing a bit of time in the corners, but he's gaining a little bit on the straights. But unfortunately, Shari is really close behind Joji here, so as you can see, he has drained absolutely all of his battery. Reza kind of backed off since we last saw him. I will say closer to the time, of course. Yeah. Of course. Of course, I really want you to race. Of course, no pressure at all. But if it's a situation where you absolutely cannot, then it's fine. But anyway, moving on onto the race. Lap 6 of 26. We're only flying through these laps. We only got 20 laps remaining, and it's felt like it's been like 3 or 4 laps. So the driver's just been getting along with the job and just pacing. Currently, as Profanity makes a move into Brooklands and gets ahead into Luffield. As now Roby maybe might look sense for a move, but his tyres slowly started to degrade in grip and performance. But Joji is getting closer to Night Slash. He has to drain his battery, but of course Joji has that battery charged, so he will decide when he will go for the move. He's got a lot more battery, nearly more than half of Night Slash's battery capacity. As now, as you can see, Reza actually, I was advancing to P3, so that is an amazing, amazing news for the yellow team drivers. Now he splits the red team, as now we've got one yellow team on the podium and two dominating the top two. But Martin, as now Punek is trying to go for a move into club corner. Very, very interestingly, is he going to go maybe for a dive? He's going to stay behind and maybe try and go for another attempt. But very good attempt there on Jilston, challenge for P10. But look at Joji, he's all over the back of Night Slash here. Night Slash might have to be forced to just give up position and stay behind Joji. But as you can see, the straight line speed is visible. He's gaining a lot of time. So it's just depicts that his pace on the straight is just unbeatable. He is gaining that time, and as you can see, Joji is using some of that battery. So I think Joji might stop. Think about taking the lead here. Let's see, is he going to turn his overtake button? Yes, he is, and he's going to maybe try and go for an attack, but Night Slash is using a little bit of battery on his side as well. So it's quite interesting. Shari's starting to lose DRS reach within Reza now. I think he might lose it. Yes, he is. As you can see, goes into the pits, and he's probably going to go in the hard tyres to the end of the race. As Reza now closing on to the top two at the moment, and Reza's going to try and push from there. As Terratedi gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Apologies. As now the steps in P6, and Shari also losing an off-time on the mediums. Interesting. Very interesting. So I think he might be going for a two-stop strategy, or maybe risking for a safety car possibly. So Shari really doing a interesting strategy. But look, Joel J very close behind Night Slash there. So all eyes are going to be on this fight for the lead. None of them have penalties to their names, and it's going to be just between them who is going to take the lead. And as you can see, I think Joji might have just spotted he has no battery, and as you can see, I think he's weaving to signalize he doesn't want to fight. So I think it might just be time we see the lead changing hands in lap 8 of 26. Possibly, as now Joji, is he going to go attack mode? He sees that light flashing, but that but he got DRS from behind. But look at the difference, it's pretty much the same straight line speed. But yeah, the red team are doing incredibly well. As you can see, you've got the car of John Wick's absolutely glitching out here, and he's yeah, he's ghosted pretty much. That's kind of cool just seeing him in that kind of way. Looks really cool, if I'm going to be honest. But anyway, Pulek as well, really close behind English Dave here. Is he going to try maybe go for an attempt, as now the steps goes into the pit? So the soft tyre runners are off, and they are going to be trying to adjust their strategies. And as you can see, Night Slash is really using that ERS, and as you can see, Joel J is really close behind him, and it's going to be a big fight. Yes, Billy is recovering very nicely, and he's currently P5. He's got 1.3 seconds to Terratedi ahead of him, who has a 3-second time penalty for a track limit. But he's still got around 17 laps left, which shows anything can happen throughout these laps, as Billy Wiese could also as well get a penalty, but he does tend to keep it very clean. But as you can see, through Marcus and Becker's, Gavra, if he can really just quickly go out to the top two, as you can see, Joe J pulls up to the left-hand side, and he takes the lead into Stowe, and that is going to be the lead for Joe J, and he takes it with with absolute ease, I should say, and he takes it from Night Slash at the moment. So now what's going to happen? Is Joe J going to run away with that battery now? He's got 30%, but now Night Slash can save it as he sets the fastest lap of 1 minute 31.2. But Joel J leading the Grand Prix at the moment, which is a very good sign for him at the moment. But we've got Night Slash currently trying to maybe go for kind of strategy which J has done, as there's a spinner going into the back into Beckett's section, and that might be Fetz's coming out of Beckett, and that is unfortunate, and that's going to lose him a big chunk of time, as now Night Slash can maybe save some battery, and now he will pretty much do the rinse and repeat of Jolt J's strategy in saving that battery throughout his time behind. There's now Fett gets a penalty to make it worth speed in the pit lane, but he doesn't really care because he has retired from this Grand Prix, and another driver is down at the moment as he's left the session as well. So not the best Grand Prix weekend for Joe Fett, DNFing yesterday in Q2 and now DNFing in the Grand Prix at lap 10 at 26, so not the best for him, but we can still see Nightash is using that battery, but I would not use that battery if I was me. I would just save it and just accept that he's around 6-7 tenths clear of the driver behind or ahead, as you can see someone diving into the pit. That's Reza. Interesting. Top 5, yeah, 12 seconds, so it just shows how stacked up the grid is. Billy Misu as well goes in, so I think it might be a massive undercut. Yeah, the 2-stop is just absolutely just bad in this game. Just the medium on the hard is just the best strategy in this F1 game. But maybe into F1 23 we might see some variety once again with the strategies, because of course in F1 2020 and 2021 we did see some strategies. Did see a lot of strategy a lot of strategies throughout those games, but of course this game, of course, with some new net regulations and rules enforced into this game, the drivers can use the mediums as a starting compound, even though they cannot, they don't have to go through Q2 on the starting tyres. So quite a nice addition. But as you can see, English Dave is very close. Yes, Gavra is spectating him as well. But yeah, he is quite close on the back of Jilston, and through Magneton Beckett, he is pushing him all over there. So could he maybe see a move from him? As you can see, he is gaining, and now as you can see, Jilston defending, but English Dave has the inside line, which should be good enough for him to get ahead. But Jilston tries to go for the switchback, but the switchback doesn't really work out a trick for him, as now the top 3 pits, and now can this maybe show, can Reza maybe get ahead of them into the in the pits? So this is a key moment in this race to see if Reza can overtake the top 2 in the pit lane, because he was quite around a second behind, so it might be a difference. Can he maybe overtake the Terra Teddy? He will, but the gap has gone quite up. But of course, remember, those drivers will still have some tire jobs to warm up his tires, of course, so Reza can still gain around 2 seconds on average, and Night Slash has lost a bit of time as well, so not the best news for him, and that's the 1.2 seconds now. So as you can see, Reza is going to use those tires now and try and warm up and try and gain some time. As you can see, he's already gained 7 tenths and 9 tenths now, so as you can see that those tires are going to be difficult to warm up currently, but we've still got, it's a 9-tenth gap, so it is supremely close. But Night Slash comfortably gets into the DRS once again of Night Slash of Joel J, and now we're going to see another fight emerging in this phase, but anything can still happen. Night Slash using all of his battery just to get behind. As you can see, Joel J is weaving around trying to get some temperature onto those hard tires, as now Reza's kind of started losing time now, so I think the overcut was the best strategy for them. But yeah, the top 5 are really separated. As you can see, Night Slash and Martin, oh no, never mind. As Martin goes into the pits, and a lot of drivers getting pits in the pit lane, so I think maybe a collision has happened in going into the pit lane. maybe, not sure, but Night Slash is getting quite close onto the back of Georgie. So if I was Night Slash right now, seem to be have a better pace. So maybe he's gonna try, and I would save the ERS. I would save it. I will not use it at all, and try and force Georgie into using it, and try and push as much as you can out of those hard tires. So if Night Slash is listening to me right now, he is pretty much in a treat. So I'll just save that battery, and then at a later phase start using it, as he is not listening to me. As you can see, he is losing time, of course, so yeah, that would be a fair point. But of course, use that battery when you need it to. But Georgie is draining that battery as well. But as you can see, it's very difficult to save the battery on some circuits. Around this circuit, it's quite easy, but of course, you need the DRS, help of DRS. But as you can see, the gap is 8/10, so Georgie really pushing the car and trying to escape that DRS, but Night Slash just not in the best position at the moment. But Georgie's got the track position at the moment, and English Dave goes into the pits, and now Georgie will lead once again and sets the fastest lap of the race as well. So just shows his pace is quite good. Reza's also going on this pack, but remember, both of them have 5-second time penalties. So that means Reza can still win this Grand Prix. He doesn't need to make a stop anymore unless a safety car comes out due to some reason. But anything can happen in this race right now, as he used to keep from a 5-second gap. Night Slash is still trying to stay in that DRS. The gap is around 9/10 of a second, but now it is going up. But of course, Night Slash has that straight line speed of his. And Night Slash, I would really save ERS if I was you right now, but he's absolutely giving it everything to try and get another race win under his belt. But it's going to be very difficult if he wants to get this win. As you can see, he has done a nice little Maggots and Beckett, and that's improved his sector times by 2/10. So he is quite close to Georgie now, which is great news. And now he can maybe start saving the battery if he can have this pace on, and if he keeps this pace, he can maybe do something towards Georgie. But it's going to be difficult for him. But and he does improve, and the timings is quite tight. I think it's around 10th between them, so the pace is different, quite similar, not different, but Reza has to start pushing the pace as well, because Georgie is saving battery, and also Night Slash, please do not use ERS, but he doesn't not use it, so he's going to save it, but he's going to use it to try and close down the gap a little bit. I think that's where Georgie is powerful with that aerodynamic power. So I think Georgie's got a more aerodynamically developed car. But as you can see, he kind of loses the rear. I think he's just out of the bad corner there. So of course he's gonna be now he's gonna try and maybe get a little bit of gap in through DRS, but it's still level pegging between both of them. And anything could still happen. We've got 12 more laps to go, including the final lap, and then we will have something to see. But Billy Moose has lost some time as well, so P6 at the moment for him, and it's going to be difficult to gain that. As you can see, he just gets a 3-second time penalty, which really doesn't help his progress. But as you can see, still, as you can see, the gap's a little bit zoomed out. Not a lot of racing going on at the moment, but the start was quite chaotic as Georgie goes even faster now. So maybe Georgie might just start really pushing. As you can see, he makes a small mistake through the second corner at turn 3, and that has made the edges between them quite closer. So that just means that how much as you can see, Georgia using that esports line, he is really trying to use every part of the racetrack to try and get that gap in. But as you can see, it is very difficult for Night Slash at the moment. The gap was at 9/10, now it's 7/10, so we can see the gap has reduced a slight bit, but we still see Night Slash is always just draining our battery around this section, but he's gonna keep on using it. He just wants to stay close behind him, but Georgie doesn't know that he has this amount of battery. But now the gap is around 4/10, and this is the gap where you ideally want to be in. But as you can see, the gap is kind of good, but of course through this section Georgie is quite good because of his aerodynamics. But as you can see, both do a quite a well driven final chicane. Reds are also losing time. He's not really pushing. As you can see, he's just kind of, as you can see, showy into the pits, which means just his strategy's just not worked out. Yeah, the team red is really doing well. It's kind of got 1-2, which just shows how good they are doing at the moment. And we still got around 9-10 laps to go until the final lap, and we still got two big battles going on at the moment, and the gap has gone down. The gap's gone down, but Georgie is using some of his battery to try and get a bit of a better gap, but Night Slash has that straight line speed which Georgie just cannot match, and Night Slash is getting closer now. So Night Slash, I think he's just started to push a little bit more, and Georgie just started to slowly just conserve the tyres and maybe try and save ERS, maybe. Not sure exactly what he's going to try and do, but currently we've got a 3/10 gap between them. It's close, but Night Slash needs to save his battery if he wants to go for a move very soon, as it would be very crucial, because ERS is a very key element if you want to make a move in around the circuit, especially where the straights are long but not as long as you would want. So the gap is 6/10, so Georgie's just lost some pace. I think he's feeling the grip of the hard tyres, and he's just really not getting that traction, especially out of the corners. He's just really losing time, and as you can see, he's really trying to stay behind here, but he's really trying. He's giving it everything. Martin gets a penalty for track limits. Martin was pulled up to P9 actually, and he's behind Jolston here in P8, as Vicky Tan Ultra as well is slowly as well trying to, as you can see, Jolston and Profanity having a nice little fight, going through turns 3 and 4, and if Gavra, if he can go through this, is a nice little fight between them, and I think somebody has spun or something, but that was a nice fight between them, and Profanity gets the better of it, and that is a nice little battle between them. Johnson going on the grass to avoid that, but as you can see, he gets another penalty and goes wide in doing so, so not really good for him. But moving on to the front now for myself, Night Slash has improved his lap, so the pace is there, and now Night Slash just needs the has to be saved. There's yellow flags, yellow card, I think that's Wave Micro. He's really struggling, I think, at the moment, but Night Slash is charging. He is charging, I think. He hasn't used a lot of his battery, and now he can save his battery, whereas Georgie sometimes has to be pressured to use that RS button to charge that car more. But Shawi set a fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and he's going to try and charge forward, and as you can see, that is Micro spinning off, or just slowing down, I think, I don't know. But as Night Slash has a bit of a moment going through COP, so it shows how just pretty much as determined he is to get that race win. He wants it, he's hungry for that, and he currently is trying to keep in that, but as you can see, he is close, he's quite close, going through Stowe, as is quite close. George really under pressure now, and Night Slash just found his mojo and is really pushing that car throughout every single corner. He's really trying to get that race win. We've got around 7 laps remaining, and there's a lot of opportunities. So we've got around a lot of opportunities for him to still try and steal Jolte's show after leading pretty much most of this race before the pit stop phase, and then a Night Slash leading for the first 5, 6, 7-ish laps. But Jolte is now going to try and defend against Night Slash, who is charging that battery. He is charging it very nicely, and Jolte cannot really charge it like Night Slash is. Night Slash can use this battery now to go through, and now all he needs to do is just get close to Jolte in the DRS and try and force him into using that ERS, so then Night Slash has more battery onto that car. But let's see what happens through here. The gap is 4 tenths. So, and it was 4 tenths a couple laps ago, going through Stowe, and now it's onto the straight, and it's 5 tenths. So, just shows how much pace currently Night Slash has over Jolte. But still, he cannot find a way through, and Reza is losing time. I thought he just spun for a second. English Dave gets another penalty, but the top two just pulling away from the whole grid, and it is a little bit overcast though. If you can see ahead, there's a bit of clouds. As yes, the good battle for P9 as English Dave. He's crashed. He has crashed, and could that be a safety car? And it is. English Dave has crashed, and that is a safety car. And he has crashed into the barriers outside of just the Beckett's. He's just hit the wall, and that is unfortunate because the leading 5 have passed the safety car, and now everybody behind will be able to pit for fresh softs. So this is not the best opportunity. But of course, the safety car has not. Is not ahead of Jolte. So that means then they can maybe still pit. But what is going to happen? A lot of strategies are going to be pulled out from the bag. Will you go to softs? Will you go to mediums? Probably not. Will you stay on hards, or will you go onto the softs and breeze to the end of this Grand Prix? It's 6 laps left of this Grand Prix, and anything happen. I don't know. I think he might have made contact. And last second when I went on his onboard, he was just driving onto the wall, and they both pit. And do Reza pit? Does Reza pit? Does Reza? Oh, George gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That is gonna be pretty much the race over for him if he wants that race win. Everybody going to the pits who is behind, and that is really gonna hurt his progress. Now both of them have to wait 5 seconds, and Reza doesn't have to. So can Reza lead this race? It's gonna be incredibly tight, but it's gonna be Reza just behind. So I thought for a second someone goes on soft. Everybody's going on softs, I imagine. Martin, he stays out. Pulek gets a penalty for speed in the pit lane there, as you can see, as he enters the pit. Does Jossing enter the pit? Does he? As Martin stays out. So Martin's going to be a massive sitting duck. I don't know why he's not stayed out. I'm not sure. Well, that puts him up to P5. However, but Night Slash doesn't have penalties, and however, George has 5 seconds. So this is a big game changer for Night Slash, and this might turn into his first race victory for Gavra Racing, which just is amazing for him after being in a lot of races and also being a bit of an unknown variable. But he has absolutely gone on the pace this evening, and he's currently in contention for his first race win. But you've got Reza and Teddy behind, so we've got Reza behind as well on the soft tyres, who has no penalty, so he can maybe still fight for that race win potentially with Night Slash. But Joe J will have to push the car insanely hard if he wants to pull 5 seconds, unless a collision happens of some sort. It's going to be difficult. But Martin, I'm not sure why he hasn't pit, and he's P5 at the moment. But that is not going to be very good. As you can see, all the drivers behind him are on the soft tyres, and they're just going to breeze past him, and he could maybe even end outside the top 10. So Martin can still pit, but he's going to end up a big way back. But is he going to go into the pits, or is he going to stay out? Is he going to say he takes the decision and goes into the pits? As now you will experience a big position. As you see, Martin slows down just to prevent him from getting the penalty. But yeah, so a lot of drivers have a penalty at the moment. Of course, this track is very difficult for track limits, so I expect that happening. But anyway, so for the point of this event, whoever gets the most teams points combined from each of their teams, so if Team Red got 32 and Team Yellow got 37, that means they win. So whoever of the yellow team finishes in the top 10 will get their points counted and combined towards their final result. So so probably at the end we'll not finish the stream, we'll probably wait until what team wins. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with the results. Probably Gavra will keep the stream on and then tell us who is going to be the Team Cup winner in this event. But got hit in the butt. Yeah, that's happened to me many times. This is why I hate this pit lane. Some people just go absolutely thrashed at the back, and then they get a penalty. So George, if you can of course claim that penalty, and I'll probably get removed unless you don't want to claim it, or I'll just race on. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. But I think next lap or this lap we will see the safety car. And what has gone on? I think I saw one black car, and the steps gets a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. I'm not sure what's happened. Is the safety car going to be in this lap? I think it could be. But oh wow, this is very interesting at the moment, as still we've got 3 more laps of racing. Everybody's bunched up. Wave Micro's not going to be able, so I think I really wanted to think that the safety car would come in this lap. It will come in next lap, and then we'll get 2 laps of racing, which is going to be a very intense laps of racing. So get ready for a big amount of chaos. So we've got currently lap 24 of 26. So at the end of this lap, the safety car will come in without a doubt. But we only got 3 drivers with no penalties: Robia HD, Night Slash, and then Reza, who both have all of them have no penalty respectively. To get against their names, but Joel J as well doesn't have any penalties. If he does claim to get the penalty removed, but anything can happen with that penalty. So we'll see what will happen in 3 laps time, as it could be an absolute pile of chaos as everybody's bunched up together from 1st to 15th or 16th is lapped and is around between I think it might be between there's red car of Shari, so he's behind Shari, so Joston, Jocelyn, Fantasy Martin, VT10, Scatcher, Robbie are behind that lap car, which could really annoy them. And I really wish they introduce like a system where the lap cars can overtake. And I can see that's where he crashed in the left there. I just see that barrier just glitch. But anyway, the safety car is coming in this lap, so we're gonna see 2-3 laps of very, very good racing, and it will be a very, very nice amount of chaos. Maybe, not sure. But Joel J is going to start the pace. He's going to set the pace off, and he's currently warming up those tyres and getting ready for, which is going to be one of the hardest laps probably in this race for both of them, as Joel J's really let it go very late, and that is a very genius release from Joel J, and that is a very nice release as VT10 collides with who is that? Oh, there's this chaos at the back as everyone's going to get a position for overtaking a Scatcher. He makes contact or something. I'm not absolutely clueless on what's happening at the back. But VT10 gets a penalty for collisions. And now Night Slash is struggling at the moment. And he's really struggling with those tyres. And Shogji's just pulled away. Like absolute like Max Verstappen. But anyway, as you can see, Terry Teddy trying to go for a fight around the outside of Brooklyn. He nearly makes it work. VT10 as well gets a penalty for multiple warnings. But now we're focusing on from 2nd to 4th. There's a massive battle as well with Billy Mitu involved, and the steps as well involved in this battle for the podium positions in this Grand Prix. But yes, it is a kind of a clean restart. But Reza all over the back of Night Slash, who has saved his battery quite efficiently, and Reza currently is going to try and maybe go for an overtake. It's going to be very close between the pair of them. Reza getting the slipstream, and Night Slash turns off his ERS, and it's 2/10 between them, and both of them have no penalty. So this is for P2 or P3 for both of the drivers. But as you can see, Night Slash goes a bit in the middle there, so I think he tries to go defensive, and he's all over the back as Jolce goes even faster with a 28.6, and he is running away with that title, with the win. With the win of this Grand Prix. He's got 1.6 seconds, and I swear, if he takes 5 seconds, I'm actually going to be absolutely overwhelmed. But never know. Still got 1.6 second. There's no way he pulls 5 seconds in 2 laps. That would be just amazing. But of course, Night Slash still needs to push if he wants to get a win. But it's 4.2. It's close. It's close. 8 might sound like a big gap, but truly, honestly, a lot of corners left. It is quite a small gap. But Night Slash is kind of closing it down now, so Joe J might, as Terrence said, Reza spun! It's a corpse, he spun! Oh no! He retired on track as well! Oh my god! But the main focus is, can Joe J take the win here? It's last up, it's 5 seconds, and it's gonna be super close. 5.05. Is it gonna be Joel J's party, or is it gonna be Night Slash's party through the final chicane? Joel J needs to make a mistake, but it doesn't, as now it's gonna be Joel J taking the Grand Prix win and making 2 seconds in 5 seconds in 2 laps. Absolutely amazing from Joel J. What a race, and what a pace from that man who has won the British Grand Prix. What a race from him. Wow. Absolutely amazing pace from Joel J. He gave it everything. as Night Slash unfortunately loses out by 5/10. But I'm really interested to see what happened. But Georgie just flashed off in the distance, and Night Slash didn't seem to have the pace. But that safety car really ruined Night Slash's opportunity for his first win. But I think it's going to be Team Red who's winning this, as 4 of their cars are in the top 10. So, but yeah, but their team is quite good, so fair play to them. They are the winners, I think. Yes, you were slowing down, Reza. Yeah, unfortunately there for Reza as he retires, but Jolce takes the win after pulling a 5-second gap from Night Slash in 2 laps. It's just utterly sensational. And then you've got Night Slash P2, Billy Misu 3rd, The Steps 4th, Shari P5, Terra Teddy 6th, Profanity 7, Jossing, Roby and Pulek complete the top 10, and then Martin, Jilston, VT10 Ultra, Scatcher, Reza, Rave Micro, John Wick, and then John Wick, English Day, Fett and Leo all DNFing at the start of the Grand Prix. And yeah, it was a chaotic race. Chaotic. But that's the end of the race. I don't know if Gavra's gonna display it on the screen right now in a bit, or is he gonna just wait until... but what a race. I'm looking at the chat, but Reza is quite annoyed. But anyway, Gavra, are we displaying the results on the stream? Oh, standards on Discord. But anyway, thank you, Gavra. But anyway, that is the British Grand Prix. I thought that was an amazing race. Only 1 safety car. I expected maybe 2 or 3, maybe. But anyway, good race, very clean racing. And especially that top 2 battle between Jolce and Night Slash really helped this race go even to a better level. But thank you everybody for watching. Tomorrow, remember the GT7 season starting, and also remember to sign up for the Weekend League Tier 1 and Tier 2. As Tier 1 has only 1 spot left, and Tier 2 has around 8 spots left. No, 7 spots left, I think. So remember to sign up for that. And thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you very soon for another social race around some sort of track. I'm not sure what Gavra's going to pick, but I'm sure it's going to be a very good one next time. Thank you everyone. It's been myself, GRL Viper, and thank you everyone for watching. Have a great evening everyone. See ya.